Welcome back to the channel. Share, subscribe, like this video. Make sure you put your prayer requests in the bottom. I got my stuff done this morning. Got home by 5. I thought, oh man, good. I'm going to be able to do some shows. Power went off as soon as I walked in the door. And they said I wouldn't have it back till midnight to 1 o'clock. Your all's prayers got me back online. Now, today, ladies and gentlemen, is a monumental day for all of us. God has had us doing this for a very, very long time. And I am glad to say today that we are very close at this point. Closer than we've ever been at this point. All right. Trump says all countries in the Middle East must sign a diplomatic deal with Israel. This is what we've been waiting for. This sets the stage. What you will start to see after this day is things going very crazy. Like you've never seen before. Earthquakes, tsunamis. You'll see about everything from this point on. This right here is setting the stage for the Antichrist. It is happening, and we're seeing it in real time. Trump has pressed leaders across the Middle East and beyond to normalize relations with Israel, framing expanding participation in the Abraham Accords. Now we know why he took the strait. Okay, now we know. We never could understand, okay, why are they taking out all the oil reserves and all these things? Why are they doing it? Well, this right here is putting all these countries that depend on this oil to sell this oil under his thumb. Now, remember when all this stuff broke out and they're like, and it was the most ridiculous answer to any question anybody's ever answered. So they asked Trump, did you not know that Iran would take the strait? He said, absolutely not. They knew exactly what they would do. That's why he did not move the blockade the other day. He wanted the strait closed. Now we know why. To put pressure on all the Middle East countries to sign this deal. And you'll get your strait back. That's what this is. It's all blackmail. According to the report of The Telegraph, Trump made an appeal during high-level discussions on Saturday, directly linking broader diplomatic recognition of Israel to potential resolution in the war with Tehran. Now, what this does, it sets Israel up to be locked down because he's forcing people that do not like Israel to be part of this deal. This sets up the Psalms 83 and the hook in the jaw of Ezekiel 38:39. This, ladies and gentlemen, what you saw today was Bible prophecy. Now it's on paper. Now it's coming out. That means you'll see an escalation like you never have before. The move represented a bold expansion of the landmark 2020 agreements, which is why when we start all waking up, it's all part of this. Now we're starting to see it all come about. Trump reportedly told participants to call involving leaders from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, Pakistan, UAE, and Jordan that joining the accords would pave the way for a comprehensive peace framework. So he's calling to be the peacemaker of the world. Just like we talked about last night, this is setting it all up. The official quoted Trump as saying he wants countries still outside the Abraham Accords. Britain was already signed on, just so you know. That happened overnight. Emphasizing the strategic importance of the wider participation. Another account described regional leaders as left stunned, not us, because we saw this unfolding, by the directness and suggestion trying to normalize the end of hostilities with Iran. Is it going to work with them? No. I think this right here is where we see the destruction of Elon's bow. That is the next move. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to disappear at any moment. Now, we've been watching and watching. We've been waiting for this moment, this specific moment, and it has now come to pass. Now, ladies and gentlemen, any second, I'm telling you right now, to be watching for the rapture at any moment. Because you can feel it in the air. You can see it. This is pure Bible prophecy. And he is trying to be the peacemaker of the world, and he is declaring it. So we know what comes next because no man brings peace. Only Jesus. That means the rapture of the church will happen in here. 7-year tribulation will start. And the real peacemaker will come back with us at the end. That is Jesus Christ. He is the only one that will bring peace, and that is the millennial reign. Most people that know Scripture should know this by what they're seeing. This right here will tell you who knows Scripture and who does not. Iran says no deal in the immediate, despite Trump's claims of progress. Now, according to the report of NBC News, Iran has pushed back against suggestions of an imminent agreement to end the ongoing conflict with the United States and Israel. Even at high-level negotiations continue on, Secretary of State Marco Rubio hinted at a possible progress on Monday. There's no progress coming. That's why I said this is where Trump levels them. That's what's coming. While acknowledged advancements and discussions aimed at halting the 3-month war, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, Iran officials stressed caution, rejecting claims that the deal was close to being finalized. Secretary of State Mark Rubio, speaking during a visit to India, said the agreement could potentially be reached today, but warned if talks do collapse, which they already knew they would, that's why they didn't move the stuff back. Now we know, because they knew there was no deal. They knew that they was not going to get a deal. Now, they've already revoked the president of Iran's visa to the United States. It's already a done deal. They're already hitting Iran as we speak now. Now, they're saying it's under the guise of retaliation. It's not. They're hitting multiple locations in Iran as we speak. President Donald Trump struck a similar tone earlier, noting that the negotiations were proceeding nicely, yet cautioning the failure would lead to a fighting resuming bigger and stronger than ever before. What he did last night and today by putting this agreement out, now he's able to level Iran, which is what he wanted to do in the first place. This sets the stage for that. So what you can expect now at any moment, that the B-2 bombers will start to level that place. Power, dams, everything in their sight. They're going to start to level until they capitulate. That's what comes next. Then this thing, but we're not here to, listen, this is how close we are to the rapture. We're going to disappear here any moment. That is what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. We're not going to be here to see Elon's bow be broken. So that tells you how close we are. It could be any time. It could be tomorrow, next day, but it's in here. So right now, if I could suggest anything to you, to be prepared to go home, because that is what comes next. The devil's already thrown his plan out there, okay? It's already out there. Now we know it. God's revealed it so we can see it, to know what comes next. What did Paul say? You will know, and after today, we know. There's no doubts. There's no more saying 2027, 2028. No, that was all erased in one day. With this tells us it's any moment to be ready to go home, because it is coming. That is 100%. It is coming. Everything done today is going to put Israel, in a position that it's going to backfire on them. This is isolating them again. Now, Ronnie sent me something earlier today that kind of puts this all into perspective of what we're looking at here. Let me go up there. We're going to talk about it. Because as soon as I saw it, I knew it was over. I knew it was. Without a doubt, I knew we was at the end. All right, so let me go over here. All right. See, all right. Israel will be forced into the deal, therefore making Israel a geopolitical slave. That's what we saw today. This isolates them. This puts them under the guise of people that cannot stand them. Turkey, one of them. Essentially back into bondage, but this time it's a political bondage. So we was working on this morning, even while I was out doing my thing, and then the power went out. This is called a political subjugation. I mean, absolute control. That's what you're seeing. Luke 21:24. Jerusalem shall be troubled down of the Gentiles. That's Trump. This describes political domination. Jerusalem is under Gentile authority until the times of the Gentile is. That's what you saw today. That agreement, that's what that is. Daniel 9:27. Israel enters a covenant with a political ruler, the Abraham Accords. That's Donald Trump. This covenant is political, binding, deceptive, and controlling. Jesus describes political opposition. In Matthew 24, Jesus describes what's coming. So this is what's coming. Deception, wars, persecution, abomination of desolation. That's what all this is coming. Flight into the wilderness. Revelations describes political domination over Israel. Revelation 11, Jerusalem is trampled for 42 months. That's what comes out of this. Gentiles' political control is present. The beast system dominates globally. Summary, what the Bible actually teaches: Israel before the rapture will experience political pressure, international hostility, siege conditions, deceptions by a political leader. That's what we're seeing. Gentle domination of Jerusalem. Israel will experience international political pressure. Zechariah 12. I've already told you that's been happening. Gentile domination of Jerusalem. Luke 21, Revelation 11. Political religious control over the temple, Daniel 11, Matthew 24, political deception through a covenant, That is coming, but we're not here to see that. Political opposition through laws, Daniel 7. So what you saw today sets the stage for everything I just told you. That's why when I saw it, I knew it was over. And I can tell you, it's over. The next event, ladies and gentlemen, is the rapture of the church. It's going to happen at any time. Jerusalem, basically, with this deal, is catastrophic for them. But it sets up the new temple, all of it. What you saw today sets everything up as we speak. All right, Iran's further talks pointless. Iran's foreign ministry now officially confirms that no Iran nuclear commitments and uranium handover exist and will exist in any draft agreement with the U.S., which we already knew that, right? That's why I said now Trump will level that place. He set up the thing to be able to level them, and now he will. They are calling all reports that claim otherwise a pure lie, making further talks pointless due to the U.S. insistence on the issue. Based on that issue, the statement declares we are not signing any agreement with the U.S. and no one can claim we are close to reaching an agreement. Iran separately stated that TASM are now on the verge of canceling all negotiations completely. Now, the attacks have already begun. 4 Irani soldiers was killed within the last 2 hours. An American jet destroyed one of those ships. So it's already happening. Early this morning, May 25th, Iran activated restricted airspace zones. They've also moved it now. Now it's going all the way to July, so it is on. Issued multiple NOTAM warnings for gunfiring exercises up to 20,000 feet. Restrictions in effect from May 20th to July 22nd. Once again, according to the Islamic Republic Foreign Ministry, Iran's regime foreign minister will not travel to New York for the UN security meeting due to overall circumstances and U.S. visa-related issue. In other words, they revoked his visa today. So that tells me the next thing is leveling Iran, and that's what they're going to do. Iran says no deal is imminent despite Trump's claims of progress. According to the report from NBC, Iran has pushed back against suggestions of an immediate agreement to end the ongoing conflict with the United States and Israel. Even as high-level negotiations continue, the Secretary of State Marco Rubio hinted at possible progress on Monday. While acknowledging advancements in discussions aimed at halting 3-month war, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, Iran officials stressed caution, rejecting claims that the deal was close to being finalized. In other words, there was no deal. And that was all part of this. He used that to be able to basically strong-arm all these nations that hate Israel onto this accords. And he's basically threatening all of them. If they don't, there will be consequences. This is not a good faith agreement. This is do it or pay. And how's he going to do that? By keeping the strait closed. Now we know why all this happened. That's why they took all the oil reserves around the world. That's why they started doing that, because they're going to hold the oil hostage to make everybody sign this agreement. Now we know. As I said, it's all out in the open now. If God has revealed it on this day, on May the 25th, you know what comes next. Paul said, you'll see the day coming. We thought, and we was hoped, but now as of this day, we know what's coming next. I suggest everyone be ready to go home, because that is what's coming, and it's coming like a tsunami. As I said, after this day, you will see things start to happen you never thought you'd see. Earthquakes, diverse places like, I know we've seen it already, but they're going to be way worse. As of when this deal happened, a 7-pointer fired off in Chile. Not coincidence. You will see weather like you have never seen. It will be magnified 50-fold from this day forth. Everything will start to go wrong. Because God has revealed what is coming. He's trying to wake everybody up now to know what's about to come. And he's going to start to shake this earth up until we're out of here. Okay? You can already see it. You can already feel it. You already know it's in the air. I don't have to tell you. If you're looking for Jesus, you know exactly what I'm telling you is the truth. You can feel it and see it. The rest of the world will deny him to the very last second. A lot of them will be left. That is what's coming, and we're already in it. All right. Also, this thing with Russia. They're telling all their people to get out of Kiev. Remember, that's been held in place for 4 or 5 years. Now, they've never attacked one building inside of Kiev. No government building, nothing. Now, think about this. So their excuse why they're going to level Kiev now is because they took out